Now this little video clip is based around customer service, which is the number one, most important thing in my opinion that you need to do well when you are trying to run a successful store. Now you have lots of stories about how customer service in Australia is quite bad, and I have to agree, as most times I walk into a shop, nobody even says hello to me. Now, it's great to have products that jump at you, that's lovely, but the reality is not all products jump at you, and it's not sustainable in the long term to just have that. To me, business is all about building relationships. I love to work in my shop, which I hardly ever do these days, but when we first started, I was here all the time, and I've always worked in, with people, you could say, in whatever situation it's in, but it's generally always been in sales. So for me to be successful at sales, you need to know how to build relationships. Very easy. We all have relationships with our friends and our family. Why can't we just apply that to strangers? So when someone walks through my door, I'm not big on selling to them straight away. It's not how I go about doing things. And it's not how I train my staff or recommend that they do it. For me, it's all about showing interest in them. So when they walk through the door, it might sound a bit boring, but you could talk about the weather for 5 seconds. You could ask them what brings them out today. Are they local? Where do they come from? You could sit there and have a conversation for half an hour with them. If you're not busy, why don't you just do that? They might even walk out of the shop not buying anything. Who cares? What's going to happen is they're going to walk out of your store, they're going to go, wow, I love that shop. And it really wasn't about the shop, it was about the service that they got when they come in here. It was about the fact that the person working here showed some interest in them today. Ask them some questions about themselves, listen to them. One thing that everybody has in common in this world is that we all want to be loved. That's it. So if you can make people feel loved just by showing a little bit of interest, that's the way you build a relationship. Now there's lots of questions you can ask people as you go through. We all know how to build relationships. You've been down to a cafe or a bar. You know exactly what to do once you're relaxed a little bit, what kind of things to talk to people about. Just apply that to your store and get your staff doing that. Now once you've gotten past that initial breaking the barriers moment, you can then start to ask them what's brought them into this particular shop. Have they been in here before? Is there anything in particular that they're looking for? Never ever ask, can I help you? Because that just is a dead-end question that leads nowhere. And a lot of younger people will say that because they feel I've done my job now. I've asked them if they want help, they've said no, I can walk away and do nothing more. That is not a good experience to have when you go into a shop. A good experience is when you actually take the time to get to know the person and take the time to get to know what it is they're actually looking for. So what other kind of questions can you ask people? Now, one of the great things about our products is that every product has a meaning. It has a story to it. That's the whole theme around our business. We want to connect people through meaningful stories. So we want to make people feel important. So there's nothing better than when you give someone a gift that's actually relevant to them. So there's nothing worse than getting a box of chocolates when you don't eat chocolates, or that you get a perfume when you don't wear perfume. So that does the opposite of making someone feel important. So you can say it's the thought that counts, but quite frankly, there was no thought in that. So I don't go with the thought that counts. It's really just take a few moments to get to know someone so that you can buy them something that will make them feel important. So for example, you could ask them, does your friend like gardening? So if they do, does she like Australian wildflowers? A good thing to ask is their age. So if they're 50 or 60, our Australian wildflowers tend to be very popular with that particular group of women. So are they man, are they woman? Have they traveled? What kind of scents would they like? Do they like sweet? Do they like sour? Are they having a tough time? So sometimes people come in because they've got a friend who's going through some difficulty. So why not recommend a candle holder or some incense, even some stress or some relaxing incense. Or even better, why don't you give them a transcendental mannequin? which is all about spirituality, because we can sit there and blame the entire world for our problems, but really the answers are all within us. So Transcendental Dominicans is all about inspiring us to go within, light a mandala. I personally light a mandala every single day, and I meditate for 20 minutes twice a day. So that's something you can do. I put my crystals around it, and it's just, it's a beautiful thing to do for people. And yeah, there's a million other questions you can ask too.